Have you ever purchased something, brought it home, and then realized it wasn't right? Maybe it was the wrong size, not quite the right color, or perhaps you even opened the box to find a broken product inside? When you hit the customer service desk or mailed that product back, you started a process called reverse logistics. When a product returns to the logistics facility, it's examined to figure out if the product can be sold again. If so, it can go back into the stocking area in order to be picked again for another order. If not, then the decision needs to be made what to do with the item. Companies could consider this a hassle and a burden. They could look at it as a wasted product. But as more companies have considered ways to go green and help the environment, they have realized a way to fit their green philosophy into reverse logistics. Perhaps that broken product can be broken down into pieces to be recycled, or the parts could be reused. This suddenly not only saves the environment, it saves money for the company, and it allows them to market this greener way of thinking to the customer. In this mission, we'll get a chance to see reverse logistics from start to finish, and consider some of the choices available to logistics facilities.
Reverse logistics is a complete supply chain dedicated to the reverse flow of products and materials for the purpose of returns, repair, remanufacture, and/or recycling. Let's take a quick look at this process. Read the instructions below, and then click OK to begin.
Earlier in this unit, you learned about the flow of materials through the supply chain. Reverse logistics is exactly what it sounds like, the reverse order of a supply chain. Reverse logistics is what we do when a customer returns a product. Think about this scenario. A customer who purchased one of our helmets in a bike shop needs to return the helmet. Although the helmet was in great shape when it left our facility, it got damaged somewhere between our shipping dock and the retail store. Can you guess how the order of things would go in the reverse logistics flow? Put each of these items in the proper sequence. Remember, this is reverse logistics. Yes, the first step in reverse logistics happens when a customer decides to return a product. This kicks off the process. The customer has to contact a retail store or follow the instructions from the online company to make the return happen. If you purchase your product locally, you would go to the store and get your refund. You've got it. Either you or the retail store will send the product back through the supply chain. This could be done through the U.S. mail or using a direct ship truck or rail, but somehow our product is making a return trip. Yep, the logistics facility will decide what happens next. So once it arrives at the logistics facility, the packaging has to come off so we can see what is being returned. Then we evaluate the product itself. Can it be resold? Can it be fixed? Or does it need to be broken apart and recycled? Let's say in this example, we've decided the product should be taken apart and the components should be recycled. That's the final step. What was a full-blown product is taken apart back to the original pieces, which makes it easier to recycle. Once broken down to metals or plastics, for example, a company might actually make money on a returned, unusable product. Products that can be resold will be repackaged and restocked for future sales.
Companies that make it easy for customers to return products usually have a competitive edge over companies that make returning products difficult or next to impossible. Red Cats is a retail company that has 2 major distribution centers located in Indiana. They use automated systems and technologies to handle the reverse logistics process. Let's learn more about how Red Cats has turned the returns experience and reverse logistics into one of their company's many success factors. Read the
Red Cats is a world leader in the online distribution of fashion and home decoration and sports and leisure goods. One of their Indianapolis distribution centers fulfills online orders for plus-size clothing. Some companies contract with a 3PL to complete their reverse logistics operations, and others retain the responsibility but place it in a different facility. These decisions depend on your product and your customer. Red Cats knows that to satisfy their customer, reverse logistics must be completed in-house. Red Cats finds that many of their customers order the same clothing item, like a shirt, in several different sizes and colors. Once the package arrives, the customer tries on the clothes they ordered, keeping what they want and returning the rest. In the online clothing business, you often get about 20% of the orders returned. Customer satisfaction is critical for Red Cats, so they make returning items easy. A great deal of effort was put into designing packaging to ensure it can be easily reused for returning items. Shipping is also simple for customers. They are provided with a return label in the package. The customer can either take the package to a drop box or the package can be picked up from their home. Returning unwanted products couldn't be any simpler for the customer. But this is where it gets more complicated for Red Cats. The Red Cats distribution center keeps the reverse logistics process completely separate from new items arriving at the facility. Returns are brought to the facility through a specific return stock at the distribution center. High-speed automated conveyors take the return items to return stations. Once a package arrives at a return station, a Red Cats team member scans the barcode on the package to look up the customer's order and then enters the customer's reasons for returning the items. Only the return items that pass Red Cats' high-quality standards are repackaged and ready to be resold. If return items are too damaged or outdated, they are not resold. Red Cats is able to resell about 92% of their returned items, and this high resale percentage is an important contributor to the Red Cats' success story. A repackaged item ready for resale is barcoded and put back on the automated conveyor system, off to its next destination, which is hopefully a new customer order. That is why, when items are returned, the Red Cats computer system checks to see if customers are awaiting that item on back order. If so, the item is cross-docked straight to the order fulfillment area and back out the door. The same is true if a new order has just arrived for that item. If the item isn't needed for a current order, the predictive analysis system determines the likelihood that the item will be ordered in the next several days. If the likelihood is high, the item goes to another cross-dock area. Many companies restock returned items, but at Red Cats, the highly automated systems make it easy to send the products right back out to other customers. Why is that important? Footsteps cost money. If an item is restocked, then a team member needs to put it away when it comes in and then pick it again when it goes back out. It is much less expensive to hold the item at the cross-dock than to return it to the stock floor. Red Cats learns from the returns and puts that information to use. For example, product managers continuously monitor return information to determine if there are color, sizing, or other product manufacturing problems that need to be fixed. Red Cats also gets customer feedback through Facebook and their customer support center. Taken together, This feedback helps product managers identify popular products, colors, sizes, and potential product modifications. Their efficient reverse logistics process and the information they extract from it helps Red Cats keep customers happy and create repeat business.
There are two categories of reverse logistics: asset recovery and green logistics. Asset recovery is all about making money from returned products. Green logistics is all about doing our part in making the planet a better place to live. There are also a number of motivating factors driving more and more companies developing an effective reverse logistics process. Read the instructions below and then click OK to begin.
Asset recovery is a fancy term that means getting as much value as possible from a returned item. Returned goods may be put back into inventory for resale, as in the Red Cats example, repaired or fixed up for resale, sold on the secondary market, think TJ Maxx, broken down into reusable components, or sorted to recover valuable materials. Have you ever walked into a store the week after Christmas? It's still filled with holiday items, right? Where do you suppose that stuff goes if it doesn't sell? They can't just toss it or put it in the back room till next year, right? One approach to asset recovery may be to have a sale to try to make as much money as possible from the previously unsold items. Then, after the sale, leftover items may be sold to a secondary market. What about the items people return because they didn't work? Those are poor quality products. Asset recovery of a broken returned item may involve repairing the product, recovering components to reuse in another product, or mining valuable materials such as precious metals from the item. The purpose of asset recovery is to make as much money as possible from the returned item. You've probably figured out that the asset recovery part of the reverse logistics process is itself a green activity, right? It's the reuse part of reduce, reuse, recycle. But the green features of reverse logistics don't end there. Many internet-based retailers make it possible for customers to reuse product packaging when returning items to the company. Reusing packaging reduces the amount of new packaging needed to complete the reverse logistics process. What happens to all of this packaging and all of the unusable products that come back to distribution facilities as a part of reverse logistics? It's recycled. But you knew that, right? We recycle on a grand scale. It helps improve the company's efficiency. In fact, there are entire industries built around recycling items from logistics facilities. Not just packing materials, but product components and raw materials too. Aftermarket means the market for spare parts or components or asset recovery. Companies can realize aftermarket savings by mining returned products to recover precious metals such as gold, copper, and zinc. Products can be repaired for continued use, refurbished for resale, taken apart for their usable components, or consciously recycled. Ease of return, repair, and recycling may add to a product's value and provide a competitive advantage. In addition, a growing green consciousness among customers can add to a provider's promise of good service and environmental practices. Investors, laws, and requirements of foreign trade are encouraging companies to make their products, processes, and distribution channels more sustainable or maintainable and enduring. Smart companies have sensed an opportunity to turn such sentiments into customer loyalty and increased sales. Today's consumer is demanding products that are simple, clean, and less threatening to the environment. Some customers will pay a premium for products that promise to protect their health and their world. Today's logistics companies must develop strategies that capture a growing sense of environmental awareness, love of nature, and desire to preserve the health of the non-human world.